So today here in Iowa, it's about the middle to end of April, and I want to share with you what our farm looks like at this time of the year. You could probably say this is about the middle of spring here in Iowa. You know, we still have the rest of April, May to go, and then, of course, June would really start summer. So this is about the middle of spring here. Okay, so here on our farm, I'll start in the front. This is our front driveway going into our farm. On either side of our driveway, when we first moved here, which would have been about over 10 years, over 12 years ago really at this point, we planted and set up these flower beds. So as you can see on either side, they look the same. This is the first side, and then it goes, our property goes that way. But in the flower beds, I guess I should show, is we planted bulbs. So first we got these railroad ties, and we made the shape that we want to do. And then we planted bulbs. Now we didn't buy all the bulbs that are in there now, because the nice, wonderful thing about bulbs, God made them to reproduce on their own. So they spread and they make more bulbs and more flowers. So that's a great thing about them, is that you don't need to buy, it will take time. Like I said, this is over 10-year-old flower beds, but every year actually it gets better because they just keep making more flowers, more bulbs, less weeds, more bulbs, right? And so it's really pretty. This is one of the best years, actually, I would have to say, for them. So that's what, and what kind of bulbs do we have? Tulips, different mixture of colors, lilies, irises, crocuses, and maybe a couple other things. I think daffodils too, maybe. So daffodils too. And then beside the flower beds on either side is honeysuckle. This one we planted early, probably when we first started this. So that's why it's so big, and it's really doing wonderful. And honeysuckle smells so wonderful in the summertime. To walk by it and you just get that sweet honeysuckle smell in the air. I just love it. I love to walk by honeysuckles in the summer. And on this side we have the same thing, but it's just a little honeysuckle because we just planted it last year. And then on either side, of course, in the middle are pine trees. So pine trees grow slow. Like I said, these are probably over 10 years old, but they just grow slow. So, okay, so now let's go this way. I will show you the ditch line. Now, on either side of the flower beds is our ditch lines. Now, we are loaded with daffodils right now at this time of the year, which is wonderful for us because we have honeybees, of course. And honeybees love daffodils. No, I'm sorry, they're not daffodils, they're dandelions. I had daffodils on my mind because I said that we had daffodils in the flower bed. I always get those two flowers confused. I apologize. But they are dandelions. But we're loaded with them anyways. And if you know anything about flowers, you knew I was mistaken when I was saying the wrong name. But we're loaded with them everywhere, in our yard, everywhere. But we do not mow them back. We do not treat them. We don't try to get rid of them because our honeybees love them and they're good for the honey. They really are. So we actually have a picture of honeybees landing on them, collecting their nectar and pollen, which we'll post so you guys can see that because it's so cute. It really is. So our property goes that way, which we will take you to the outer orchard at the end of the video. So please keep watching so you can see. That's the best one yet. So please keep watching. Okay, so now our mailbox, really quick before we walk by it, there's just some bulbs in it. It's a little later than what these bulbs are. So there's not many in that one, but they will spread, like I said. Now on this one, we got crocuses coming out into the ditch line. I don't know, but I don't think we planted them there, but maybe they just spread themselves. I don't know. So now, here we're gonna walk around the back and show you the back part of the farm before we start going into the middle of the farm. Now, this is part of our road. Our property goes this way, and then we're gonna turn. But this is a really beautiful view in this direction, where there's a pond and there's, the corn and bean fields and things like that. And so this is one of my most favorite views. We can see it from our bedroom window, and I just love it every morning and every night and during the day, of course. And every season it looks different, depending on whatever the season is. So it's just always a pretty view, and I just like it. So come on, let's walk. And so if you look, there's lots of dandelions in here. And so we don't really mow. I don't want to mow we don't like to mow the ditch lines right now because of the dandelions, nor do we really like to mow very much if we can help it because of the and look, there's a honeybee on one of the dandelions. I told you they love them. See her? She's collecting her nectar and her pollen. They really just love dandelions. I mean, really. That's just one of their, I personally think it's one of their favorite flowers. So, and they have plenty of them here. So now, here's the corner where we're going to turn. Right here. Okay, so this is nothing that we planted, it's just the corner. Alright, so now, we turn the corner here, and this back here will be where our cows are, and the cornfield. And then if you walk across, once you see the cows here in a minute, if you keep walking straight back through the cornfield, you'll get to where the summer pasture is for our cows. We won't be able to see that today, but when we move them within a week or so, we'll show that to you, okay? Alright, so here we're coming up to the cows. Now over here, this is some of our walnut trees that we tap for syrup, if you see my videos. And also something that's over here is mulberry trees, which if you watch my channel, you'll see us pick mulberries. They are one of our favorite berries. We have a lot of them along this tree line and over there in our other woods too. So we love mulberries. The kids could eat gallons of them. When we pick them, they eat almost all of them. They're really good. Alright, so here we go. We got about, you can see the cows. It's going to start raining, I think, later today and tomorrow for a couple of days. So the cows are really just kind of relaxing today. This is also where we keep our hay and our equipment and our attachments and things of that nature. So this would be what you consider the back part of our farm. And there's the cows. And we have the billy goats. They live with the cows. So now we have electric fence around where the cows are, but right here we don't because we don't want them to get to the hay, of course, unless we give it to them. So there they are. And like I said, if you kept walking straight over this hill where the other line of trees are, right behind those other line of trees is where their summer pasture is. So that's where they go in the summer. And it's so wonderful because our cows are so nice and calm and they love us. They just literally follow us. So we just have to turn off the electric fence and we open it on that end, and then we just start walking and they just follow us. And then at the end of the summer, they walk back. No joke. You should watch my video, and they did that. So, all right, now I guess we're going to, I'll pick it up once we walk back around. Okay, so now we've walked back around, back to the front of the farm, and we're in the front yard, which is one of our orchards is in this part of the yard. So this is a Honeycrisp apple tree. Beautiful in bloom, leafed out. It's really grown tall over the years. We pruned all of our trees last year. You could see us doing that if you look on my channel. Last spring, late winter, early spring, we pruned the trees. This year we did not because we don't prune them every year. But that's why they're grown so nice. And look how pretty the blooms are. I mean, there's going to be a lot of apples. Actually, it really has helped. There's a lot of blooms on that tree. This one never used to have that many blooms, so it's really helped them. It's really helped them. And over here, another apple tree. It's a little slower. Apple trees really are the slowest, so it's still working its way. I mean, you know, it's still early. It's only April. Now, here's our front garden, which you can see a video of us planting this. This has flowers, green beans, corn, cucumbers in our front garden right here. And we do have a couple more rows that we need to get more green beans because we didn't really have enough yet. So, but we'll get some. And now over here, I believe this is a plum tree. So the blooms are different. You can tell of a plum tree as a apple tree. And normally, not right this minute, but normally you can see a lot of our bees coming to our fruit trees as well for the blooms. So it's really cute to see that. And now we have more plum trees and apple trees over here. I think this would probably be an apple tree. Another one. Some of the trees are small, some are big. It's just, I mean, I don't know why. They're all pretty old, so some of them we've had to cut back, things like that. So, you know, for different reasons. But they're still going good. Now this was a plum tree. You can tell by the leaves and the blooms. Apple tree right here in front, and another plum tree. Now this one, their bloom is already gone. So plum trees were pretty early blooming. So see, as you can tell, now they're kind of going to be closing up now. They've been pollinated, and now they will start making the plums. So that's really good, right? Okay, so now let's walk back here. Okay, so now in the back here is we will meet some animals first as we're walking around here. These are just mostly walnut trees back here. We tap them for our walnut syrup, black walnut syrup. This is mostly all black walnut trees except for maple trees we planted. Hi guys! So these are our first baby animals. This is 3 bottle babies that we have. You can see the videos of them when they're little. The white one is Cotton. This is Lollichops. And that little boy, we didn't name him yet, so he's just a little boy. Oh, and look, quick, baby rabbit. We have 2 litters of baby rabbits. The smaller ones are all black, and then there's 1 orange, and then the older ones are kind of like a wild rabbit look and a kind of brownish, and then 1 orange one as well. So they're so cute. 8 in the first litter, 7 in the second litter. And then we have 2 moms and 1 dad. So those are the babies. And let's look over here to see more of the rabbits. See them? They're so cute. They're fast. They like to go underneath their house. They've dug a little burrow underneath this. On either side, you can see how there's like a hole. It's very deep actually. They really dug a really nice burrow. So, okay, and then back here is like our little, this is our little cooking out area and camping area. Our picnic table that my husband built me a couple years ago. We're building an I Love Lucy barbecue. It's going to be done this year. Our fire pit. And now over here, if you watch my videos of us building our second chicken coop, you can see when we added this gate. Now it's a lot easier for us to get in and out back there. Before we've always had to climb the fence, and it was a barbed wire fence, so that was not very fun, but we did it. But now it's easier with the gate. So now here's our chicken coop area. So this is our new one we just built for all of our big chickens, ducks, geese, turkeys, guineas. And then this, remember, was our original chicken coop, but now it's just for the medium chickens. It has the brooder house in the front for babies, and then when they're like this big to this big, until they get big enough to go, then they go into this area. And over here is our back garden. Okay, so in here, see the medium-sized chickens is what I'm talking about. That's what they look like until they get big enough. Pretty soon they'll be big enough to go to the big one. And I'll show you the big one, what it looks like inside. And somebody had asked to see all of our animals and to see what our farm looked like, so that's why I'm doing this farm tour. And it was my idea to do it in every season, so you could really see the difference of what happens on our farm in different seasons. So now you can come in here, and you could see there's videos of us building this and of us showing you what's in here and everything like that, but this is what it looks like. And then the chickens and birds or whatever it's in here can go in and out this way and into their outside area, which is what you'll see in a minute. Okay, so now this is the outside area of the chickens until we are going to this green stuff back there in between the 2 fences, because there's actually 2 fences back there. Back here. There's 2 fences back here. See right here? 2 fences. We're going to fence that in better, and then we're going to be able to let the chickens go in there too. But right now they just have this area. So see, we've moved some of those medium chickens over here already, and some of the new ducks, our new turkey, and things like that. And we have our old geese and our old guineas. All talk to you a little bit about the animals I've showed you so far. That guinea is kind of loud. I'll talk louder. So, anyway, so over here behind me was the chicken area, the chicken yard. Let's call it the chicken yard because it's where they go outside. So we have a variety of different animals in there. We have geese. The white ones are called Ebden geese. That's what we have. A guinea, which you heard her. That's what she was. We have a Pekin duck. His name is Quackers. He's our oldest duck, and he's still going strong. And then we have our new ducks were those silver appleyard ducks. There's 2 of them, and they're out there. And then we have a turkey. Now, I don't know what she is called because we've had her for a while, but she kind of looks like a wild turkey kind of. And then we have a new turkey. That is a black Spanish turkey, I think, because it's black, but it's only this big right now. So I don't really know. I hope it's a girl, but I don't know. But it could be a boy because we only have 1 girl turkey anyway, so she would be happy if it was a boy. But and then of course our chickens. Oh no, wait, our Muscovy ducks. We have 2 Muscovy ducks. They're both males, but they don't bother anything. And then the rest of the flock is all chickens. Now, we have a variety of chickens. I'm sorry, I cannot tell you all the kinds. There's too many. But I will tell you something about them, is that they all lay different colored eggs, and some of them lay eggs better in the winter, some in the summer. So what we tried to do, why we did that, is that we like a variety of colors, and also we like to have eggs throughout the year. Because a lot of chickens, some people will only have one kind that are really good in the summertime and springtime, but then once it gets colder, they're going to stop laying as much. And then they're going to be like, why aren't I getting any eggs? Well, it's because that type of chicken slows down. When it's cold or the daylight starts going away, things like that. So my most favorite kind of chicken, though, we have there's a few different varieties of these kind, but they have feathers on their feet. Those are the kind that like the winter. So they're the good egg layers in the winter because they have feathers on their feet. To me, that tells me that they can remind me that they like the cold. They don't mind the cold because their feet are warm. So if they have feathers on their feet, they're going to be good winter layers. But we have a variety of them in this little chicken coop when I showed you the medium-sized chickens, and also some that have come out here. So that's the reason that we have everything. And also, you know, they all sound different, and it's just fun to have all the different varieties that we can have. And now also, I'll take you over here really quickly to the brooder house. I forgot that. It was in front of this. It's in front of this chicken coop is the brooder house for the babies. And in here right now, we have a couple chickens, but we have more turkeys. I don't know how well you'll be able to see them, but you can try. See? These ones in the front are turkeys that are underneath the heat lamp by the food. Those are turkeys. So there's a variety of those. Now we're going to have a variety of turkeys. So I'm excited about that. And then there's a couple chickens back there. And so see how this brooder house works. It's really nice. It's where the heat bulb goes. You can get to it from this side, or then there's a door. If you're inside the chicken coop, you can get to it from either way. Now also, really quick, before we go any further, I will tell you about those cows, rabbits, and baby goats that we just showed you. So the goats, like I said, those are our 3 bottle babies, and they are definitely more of a meat goat. They are a meat goat. They're a mixture between the dad and the mom, but they are meat goats. So they're going to be really good goats. As you can tell, I mean, they're already really big and they're really strong. So they're going to be great. 2 girls and a boy. And then the rabbits, I can't tell you about the rabbits, what kind they are, but you saw them. They're cute. Now the cows, the black ones were Black Angus. That's what we have for our meat cows. Those are the cows that really brings the best money if you are trying to sell cows to make money or to raise money for something, whatever, for your farm or whatever. But they're the ones that bring you the best money. Now we did have Buttercup back there. She was the reddish brown one. She's a Jersey and she's our milk cow. Now she always gets bred back to a Angus bull. So her babies are kind of like half, but I think that mostly would be all right to say that they're kind of Angus, more so because they look like, they're always black. They're never red. Only if you bred her to a Jersey bull would they be red. So that's for the cows. And now this is our back garden. In here, so far we have planted potatoes in the front, or I mean right here, potatoes. Onions, you can see already are coming up. On our panel, we just planted, you can see a video of us doing that, peas and pole beans on that. They haven't come up yet, of course. After that, we have a couple rows of carrot seeds we planted. Then cabbage, lettuce, and broccoli, and kale. And then that, and I think we also did a couple herbs. Dill. Yeah, dill and a little bit of cilantro seeds. Early cilantro we'll get. And then it ends there. The rest of the garden is not planted yet. It'll be for our warmer crops, which would be your tomatoes and peppers, and maybe melons if we want to do melons this year. I don't know if we will. But you know, warmer stuff. That goes in the end of the garden. Okay, so now let's walk this way. You can see our rhubarb. It's really coming up heavy. It started coming up really early. So we've had rhubarb for a long time. We've moved it a couple different places until we found out it likes it here the best. So it's around this is the first shed. This is our first shed, wood shed building, and so it likes it here. I can't tell you why, but it does. So we've moved it. It never did well, so we moved it back, and it does great. So also on this side of the first shed, we have red raspberries and our strawberries. So we need to fill in our strawberries a little more. We need to fill it with dirt. It started off high up, but now it's settled in, and these are the raspberries. So they just got pruned back, the dead branches, but they're coming back really good. So I mean, they're really good. So, and also one thing about raspberries, just like bulbs, they have their own babies. So look at all their little babies. Right, and then they're just going to keep spreading. And then a great thing about that is, just like with bulbs, you can transplant them if we want to. If we don't want it to keep coming out into the yard, we will do it like here, because there used to be garlic here, but we moved it. So I think we better spread it along this way instead of this way to fill this all in right here. And also in the front of the first shed, we have horseradish. Now I thought we tried to move this before, but it didn't. We didn't get it all or something, because it keeps coming back every year. So I don't even understand that, but that's what that is. So okay, so I really quickly, while we're walking around, remember when we were talking about the bulbs up in our front, how I said, you know, how you can spread them out, you can transplant them right in the fall. So what we've done, you'll see a couple of our trees around our farm, we planted them around the trees. So this is what this is. More bulbs, more flowers. It's beautiful, right? And we have a maple tree in front of our compost pile. So that's a really, really pretty. We've planted maple trees for my first Mother's Days with all of my different kids. So I have 3 kids. So every time it was the first Mother's Day with that baby, we planted a maple tree. So Hannah, which is my first daughter, we actually planted 2 maple trees because she was first. And so those are those 2, one over there, and then this one right here that had the flowers in it. Then this one we planted. The reason this one is the biggest, I'll tell you, is because it's in front of the compost pile. It likes compost. Let me tell you. That's why. I mean, because it's younger than the other ones, but it's that, so really, that just goes to show you compost really helps plants. So if you use that compost in your gardens or when you plant stuff, I mean, look at the difference. There is a humongous difference. So definitely use compost if you have it. It makes a difference. Oh, good. Okay, so Abigail and Samuel just found another goose egg. So we're incubating our goose eggs. You can see a video of us doing that. And we have 2 so far, so now we'll have to put the 3rd one in there. We'll mark it, though, because of the date, so we know who's hatching first. But yeah, we're going to hatch it. So awesome. Don't break it, okay? Hold on to it for me. Okay, so now here's our dogs. Our outside dogs. We have Cookie Dough, Cookie, Red Tracks, Speckle, and Tipper. Now, Tipper and Cookie Dough are puppies, and they're Scarlet. Scarlet lives in the first shed now. She's the oldest, and they're her puppies. So we keep them because there are only 2 of them, and we love them. So they're cute. Okay, so now Now, but about the dog kennels, this is not kind of a work in progress. It was very, very, very nice with a roof and electric, and it was very nice, a little porch area. But then a big bad windstorm swooped down and took it away. So it's still a work in progress. So one day it'll look really nice again. Now over here is our greenhouse. And on this side of the greenhouse is more raspberries. So as you can see that, right? And in the front of the greenhouse, oh, chokeberries, I believe. Yes, they are chokeberries. A lot of people might not have heard of chokeberries. They're sour, but supposedly they make really good. You have heard of chokeberry syrup, chokeberry jelly, maybe. We've not done anything with them yet. We, of course, because there's only 2 of them. So last year we collected them and we're freezing them till we get out enough until we're gonna make something with it. But only 2 plants, you don't get a lot, right? So this is the greenhouse. We used it last year to start our seeds. This year we decided not to because we have a lot of other stuff going on, and so we just bought the plants and the seeds. Next year though, we decided we are definitely going to start the seeds because it is a money saver for sure.